Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Kathy Luker, a CPA and owner of Blue Harbor Consulting. If you own an HVAC company, a construction business, or you're in the trades, this series is built for you. Today is the first topic in a series of 16 Facebook Live events, related to building the elite contractor, financial mastery for scalable growth. We're kicking off with one of the most important topics for any successful contractor: profit at a glance, how top contractors use advanced job costing to protect every dollar. In our world, jobs moves fast. Crews shift and materials fluctuate weekly. Most owners don't lose money because they're bad at their trade. They lose it because they can't see where it's leaking until it's too late. So have you ever thought, we were slammed last month, why isn't there more cash in the bank? This session is for you. Busy doesn't always mean profitable. You can have trucks running nonstop and crews working overtime. But if you can't see profit by job, you're flying blind. And when I say profit at a glance, I mean being able to open your system, whether that's QuickBooks, your field service management software, or your construction management platform, and instantly know which jobs are making money, which ones are bleeding, and which you can still turn around before closing out. These tools pull labor, materials, and overhead in real time, so you're not waiting weeks for a P&L. So here's a tip: set alerts to flag any job that's 5% over budget on labor or materials. That single automation can protect thousands in profit every month. So let's break this down into 3 layers that separate top performing contractors from everyone else. Layer 1 is direct cost: labor, materials, equipment rental, subcontractors, any costs that tie directly to a job. Most companies track these, but not always consistently. If techs forget to tag hours or vendor invoices get coded wrong, accuracy's gone. Every dollar here should point to a specific job. Layer 2 is indirect costs. These are shared costs that support your jobs, but don't hit one single invoice. They're fuel, small tools, supervision, delivery, warehouse labor. Skip this layer and you miss 10 to 15% of your real cost base. The best companies create a formula, maybe by labor hours, square footage, or project type, so each job carries its fair share. Layer 3 is overhead allocation. This one separates the good from the great. Office rent, insurance, software, admin wages, marketing. These are the cost of staying in business. A 2-hour service call shouldn't carry the same overhead as a 3-month commercial install, right? So top contractors use a percentage based on revenue or labor hours to recover overhead accurately. When you tighten all 3 layers, direct, indirect, and overhead, your job margins finally reflect reality and you can start pricing with confidence. Now, here's where I see things fall apart in HVAC and construction companies. Number 1, techs don't clock time to specific jobs. They clock in for the day, but maybe not to the project. Labor gets lumped together, and you can't tell which crew or call made or lost money. If you can't see it by job, you can't fix it. Number 2 is parts get coded to generic supplies. A vendor invoice goes into a supply account instead of a job. That one step can swing your margin 5 or 10 points, and you'd never know it. Number 3, change orders never make it to accounting. The field does the work, but the office doesn't bill it. It might be small, such as an added vent or upgraded thermostat, or it could be larger, such as an added feature or change in materials. And over a year, it adds up to thousands or hundreds of thousands more in unbilled revenue. Number 4, owner or manager time isn't allocated. If you're helping a crew, picking up parts, or troubleshooting with a customer, that's labor. When it's not tracked, jobs look healthier than they really are, and you underbid the next one. I've seen contractors doing 5 million a year who think they're at 30% margins when the real number is only 12%. And that gap, it's all in the tracking. Small misses repeated every day that quietly erase your profit. So, does this sound familiar? If you're nodding yes, you're not alone. Almost every contractor I start with has at least two of these issues. And the good news is, once you find them, you can fix them quickly. What does advanced job costing really look like when it's done right? Let's walk through it. Every job starts with a budget: labor hours, materials, subs, equipment costs, permits, before anyone steps on site. That budget is entered into your system, whether that's QuickBooks Projects, Service Titan, or Builder Trend. And every cost that hits that job, from payroll hours to vendor invoices, automatically updates the live numbers. Now imagine being able to pull up a single screen and see your budget versus actual for labor, materials, and subs, your projected profit by completion, and even labor efficiency by crew. If something's off, maybe labor's already at 70%, but the job's only 40% complete, you know right then, not after it's too late. That's the power of real-time data. You can step into your weekly meeting, look at each active job, and know which ones are healthy, which ones are slipping, and which ones need a conversation today, not 3 weeks from now. And it's not about creating more reports. It's about making your existing system work for you. So here's a tip. Have your office staff or AI attach every vendor bill, PO, or time entry directly to the job in your system. That one habit ensures your job cost reports are accurate and audit ready. No more digging through folders when a customer questions a change order. When advanced job costing is running smoothly, it looks like this. You've got a clear scoreboard. Your team knows what winning looks like, and your profit isn't a surprise, it's predictable. So let me give you an example, because this is where the power of job costing really comes to life. I worked with an HVAC company that looked successful from the outside. They had 5 trucks on the road, phones ringing constantly, and crews scheduled 2 weeks out. Exactly what most owners dream about. But the owner kept telling me, "Kathy, I just don't get it. We're busier than ever, but there's never enough cash in the bank." When we dug in, here's what we found. There was no live job costing. Labor was tracked on paper timesheets, materials were dumped into supplies, and no one could tell if an install was profitable until weeks after completion. Once we built a job costing system inside QuickBooks Projects, linked it with their time tracking, and trained techs to log hours by job, things started to change immediately. Within 3 weeks, we could see clear patterns. 2 install crews were consistently running 18 to 20 hours over budget with every project. Not because they were lazy, they were just being assigned the most complex jobs without adjusted labor estimates. Once the owner saw that data, he made 2 smart changes. He rebalanced the crew schedules so work matched skill level, and he updated labor estimates on larger installs to reflect reality. So the result? Margins improved by 10 points in 1 quarter. But even better, he stopped feeling like he was guessing. Every Friday morning, he looked at his dashboard and knew which jobs were healthy, which needed attention, and where his crew stood for the week. He told me, "For the first time, I feel like I'm driving the business, not chasing it." That's a transformation job costing delivers. It's not about cleaner books, it's about confidence, control, and peace of mind. So you don't need a massive ERP system or even a 6-figure software budget to get it right. If you're using QBO or QuickBooks Enterprise, you already have 80% of what you need built in. You can track projects, assign classes or locations, and use custom fields to slice your data by job view, crew, and service division. Then you can layer in a few tools to make the process easier for your team, like ClockShark or QB Time for time tracking. These let techs clock in and out by job from their phones. And the time syncs straight to QuickBooks for payroll and job costing. So no more paper timesheets or guessing where hours belong. Notify, Builder Trend, or Job Trend for project management. These are perfect for HVAC and construction companies because they combine estimates, schedules, change orders, and job cost all in one dashboard. You can see your actual versus budget in real time, and the data flows straight into QuickBooks for reporting. Service Titan for field service management, ideal for HVAC and service-based contractors. It tracks every call, estimate, invoice, and technician in real time, so you know your true job cost, margin, and productivity at the service call level. Reach Reporting or Power BI for dashboards. They pull your data out of QuickBooks and show it visually, gross margin trends, labor utilization, and cash flow at a glance. So here's a tip. Don't overbuild it. Start with one connection that solves your biggest headache. For most owners, that's accurate job tracking. Once that's working smoothly, you can add your project or dashboard later. The goal is a system that gives you the truth every day without adding more spreadsheets or manual entry. Every top contractor needs an owner's dashboard, a snapshot of financial health, crew efficiency, and cash. So financial health should include revenue booked, month to date and year to date, gross margin by job or division, net profit margin, cash on hand, and cash burn rate. Operational performance should include labor efficiency ratio, job cost variance, change order capture rate, and overhead recovery rate. And forward-looking metrics should include backlog or WIP value and accounts receivable days. These 10 numbers tell you everything you need to know. When you can see them at a glance, you can make decisions like a CEO, not a technician. Now, not every number needs daily tracking. Top contractors typically use two levels. The daily dashboard shows your operational pulse. You can look at 5 metrics such as revenue today, today's revenue, labor utilization, open jobs, cash collected, and your call conversion rate. Those you can act on quickly. And the weekly dashboard is your 8 to 10 KPI view where you look at your financial health, operational performance, and forward-looking metrics, the big picture. So the daily keeps you proactive, the weekly keeps you profitable. 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week. That's all it takes to stay in control. So let's test where you stand today. Do you know your gross profit by job before it's complete? Can you compare your estimated versus actual labor? Do you know which crew is most efficient? How about tracking your overhead recovery monthly? Do you do that? Can you name your 3 most profitable job types by margin, not by revenue? If you hesitated on any of those, you found your next opportunity for improvement. When job costing is dialed in, everything changes. You price with confidence, you catch overruns early, you can reward your best teams, and you forecast accurately. One client added $240,000 a year in profit without adding a single customer, just by reviewing his margins weekly and making improvements accordingly. That's the power of visibility. So here's the takeaway. Profit isn't something you calculate later. It's something you protect every single day. Job costing is your profit protection tool. When you see your numbers clearly, you stop guessing and start growing intentionally. If you'd like help setting up your job costing, crew tracking, or owner dashboard, that's what we do every day at Blue Harbor Consulting. We help HVAC, construction, and trade business owners gain clarity and control over their finances so they can scale profitably, not just bigger. You can grab a free 45-minute consultation using the link in the comments or on our website. We review your current setup, spot quick wins, and map out your next step towards stronger profitability. Now, next week's topic is the CFO's secret weapon, mastering cash flow in a project-driven business. Don't miss it. It builds right on today's session. So thanks for watching today. And remember, protecting your profit starts with seeing it clearly. See you next week, same time, same place.